Some cars, they're alright, they get you from A to B without embarrassing the neighbors. Then, there are cars that break records, rewrite the laws of physics, the kind of automotive anarchy that makes you question if gravity got the memo. We're talking about machines so fast they could outrun a bullet train, cars that generate more power than a small rocket. The real question isn't just how fast these monsters go, it's whether human engineering has finally built something too fast for the Earth itself. Which one takes the crown? Stick around, because the fastest car on this list isn't just quick. It might be the closest thing we have to teleportation. Back in 2005, there was a king, a Swedish monarch of speed called the Koenigsegg CCR. This thing clocked in at 388 kilometers per hour, 241 miles per hour, and back then, that was considered positively unhinged. We're talking an 806 brake horsepower supercharged V8, enough grunt to rearrange your internal organs. It was a beast, a proper tire-shredding, record-breaking legend. But that was then, this is now. The automotive landscape changes faster than a politician's promises, and compared to what's coming next, the CCR might be a former king, but the competition has evolved into something otherworldly. Think of it this way, the CCR is like bringing a really sharp knife to a gunfight. Impressive, sure, but it's not going to win any duels against what's next. Now some might call the Pagani Huayra BC Roadster a hypercar. I call it a masterpiece that just happens to hit 383 kilometers per hour, 237 miles per hour. This isn't just a car, it's a sculpture, a symphony of carbon fiber and Italian engineering named after the Andean wind god. The Huayra BC isn't just about brute force, it's about finesse, about the perfect balance of power and beauty. It's got 745 brake horsepower and 1049 Newton-meters of torque, enough to twist your spine into a pretzel. But it does it with the grace of a ballet dancer. Think about it, this car could out-accelerate a cheetah, yet it looks like it belongs in a museum. But this list isn't about pretty faces, it's about raw, unadulterated speed. And while the Huayra BC is a work of art, the next car on our list, it's the kind of art that leaves you speechless. Now, some folks think hybrid technology is just about saving the planet, about sipping fuel like a nun at a tea party. Lamborghini? They laugh in the face of such nonsense. The Lamborghini Sian Roadster is a roaring testament to the fact that hybrids can be brutal, savage machines. This thing combines a monstrous V12 engine with an electric boost system that'll make your eyeballs sweat. It's the most powerful Lamborghini ever made, with 774 brake horsepower that launches it to over 350 kilometers per hour, 217 miles per hour. The Sian Roadster isn't just fast, it's an experience. It's the feeling of being strapped to a lightning bolt. But even Lamborghini, with all their Italian flair and engineering brilliance, has to take a step back when the next car comes into view. Because this next one? It's not just a car, it's a spaceship disguised as a luxury apartment on wheels. Chapter 4, McLaren Speedtail, Warp Speed Engaged. Let's be clear, the McLaren Speedtail doesn't race, it warps reality. This Hyper GT is built for one thing and one thing only, pure, unadulterated velocity. It doesn't scream for attention, it doesn't need to. The Speedtail simply exists, a sleek, aerodynamic masterpiece that whispers, "I've already lapped you twice while you were blinking." With 1036 brake horsepower from its hybrid powertrain, this thing hits 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 3 seconds. But here's the real kicker. The Speedtail isn't just about raw power, it's about efficiency, about cheating the wind like a card sharp in a smoky backroom. It's a technological marvel, a testament to what happens when engineers chase speed with the tenacity of a badger after a particularly tasty grub. But even the Speedtail, as mind-bendingly fast as it is, pales in comparison to the sheer lunacy of what's coming next. Chapter 5. Aston Martin Valkyrie Downforce on steroids. Forget what you think you know about cars, because the Aston Martin Valkyrie isn't just a car. It's a Le Mans prototype that somehow escaped the track and ended up terrorizing public roads. Under that sculpted bodywork beats a 6.5-liter V12 engine that screams like a banshee on a caffeine bender. It produces 1160 brake horsepower, enough to power a small village and scare the bejesus out of anyone within a 5-mile radius. But here's the real party trick. The Valkyrie's aerodynamics are so insane, so mind-bogglingly effective, that it generates more downforce than a Boeing 747 on takeoff. Theoretically, this thing could drive upside down in a tunnel at high speed. They haven't actually done it, yet. But the fact that it's even a possibility tells you everything you need to know. But even with all that downforce and horsepower, the Valkyrie still isn't the fastest car on our list. The next one, it's American muscle gone completely and gloriously mad. Chapter 6. Hennessy Venom GT American Muscle Unleashed. You know what you get when you take a perfectly good Lotus Exige, a car that's already about as subtle as a kick in the cobblers, and then decide, you know what this thing needs? More power. You get the Hennessy Venom GT, that's what you get. Hennessy, those American mad scientists of horsepower, took one look at the Lotus and said, hold my beer. They ripped out the engine, crammed in a 7.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that churns out a preposterous 1244 brake horsepower, and then pointed it at the horizon. The result? A car that hit 435 kilometers per hour, making it one of the fastest things on four wheels. But even this monstrous display of horsepower pales in comparison to the next car on our list. Because it's time to talk about the car that dared to break the 300 miles per hour barrier. Chapter 7, Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus, Physics, never heard of her, Bugatti. The name is synonymous with speed, luxury, and engineering. With the Chiron Supersport 300 Plus, they obliterated records. This car is overkill. An 8-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine produces 1577 brake horsepower, enough power to launch a small moon into orbit. They aimed it at the horizon like a heat-seeking missile. The Chiron Supersport 300 Plus broke the 482 km per h barrier, a technological marvel, a testament to engineering, but Bugatti couldn't rest for long. A new challenger emerged to take the crown. Chapter 8, SSC Tuatara, the American Slayer of Giants. For years, the automotive world bowed down to Bugatti, the undisputed kings of speed. Then from the land of freedom fries and monster trucks emerged a challenger, a car that dared to take on the mighty Chiron and win. The SSC Tuatara, named after a lizard that's as fast as it is deadly, arrived with a point to prove. It boasts a 5.9-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that pumps out a scarcely believable 1750 brake horsepower. The Tuatara isn't just about brute force, it's a masterpiece of aerodynamics, a symphony of carbon fiber and downforce that cheats the wind like a magician's sleight of hand. The result? The Tuatara blasted past the competition, hitting an astonishing 508 kilometers per hour, or 316 miles per hour, and claiming the title of the world's fastest production car. But the battle for speed is far from over. Two more contenders remain, each with its sights set on the throne. Chapter 9. Koenigsegg CCR, Absolute, Scandinavian Stealth. The Swedes are known for their minimalist design, their love of flat-pack furniture, and their ability to build cars that can outrun the sound of their own engines. And with the Koenigsegg CCR Absolute, they've taken everything they know about speed and distilled it into one terrifyingly capable machine. This car is all about efficiency, about cutting through the air with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel. Underneath that unassuming exterior lies a 5-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that produces a staggering 1600 brake horsepower on E85 fuel. Koenigsegg claims the CCR Absolute could theoretically reach a top speed of 483 kilometers per hour, or 300 miles per hour. The CCR Absolute is proof that you don't need flashy wings and spoilers to cheat the wind. Sometimes all you need is a clean sheet of paper, a wind tunnel, and a team of engineers who are borderline insane. But even with its impressive performance, the CCR Absolute isn't the final word in automotive insanity. Because one car remains, a car that pushes the boundaries of what's possible. Chapter 10, Bugatti Bolide, Redefining the Limits. The Bugatti Bolide sits at the bleeding edge of automotive technology. It's a rolling science experiment, built to be the fastest, most extreme car ever. Essentially a Formula One car with a license plate, powered by an 8-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine with 1824 brake horsepower. Its aerodynamics are so extreme it looks alien. Bugatti claims a top speed of 498 kilometers per hour. This car redefines what a car can be. Have we reached the limit of what's possible, or is this just the beginning? So, there you have it. 10 cars that defy logic, physics, and probably a few traffic laws. We've seen machines that can outrun sound, generate more downforce than a jumbo jet, and make even the most jaded petrol head weak at the knees. But one question remains: what happens when these machines go beyond what's humanly possible? Drop a comment below and let me know, which one of these monsters would you want to drive just once? Or better yet, which car do you think will be the first to break the 500 kilometers per hour or 310 miles per hour barrier? Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more insane machines, and I'll catch you in the next video.